Are you where you thought you'd be halfway through the year? Most franchisees start with a plan and lose sight of it in the noise of daily operations. This isn't about guilt, it's about clarity. Today we're doing a 10-minute business health checkup using 67 powerful questions. And if you want the full list, there's a free download waiting for you in the description. Hi, I'm Bob Hefner, and I've spent over 2 decades in franchising as an operator, franchisor, and strategic advisor. Said another way, a business coach. If you're an early stage or growth phase franchisee, this is for you. We'll talk about leadership, hiring, financials, and mindset. And again, the full 67 question checklist is yours for free. Just hit the link in the description below. Let's start with leadership. First of all, I'd like to share with you that when I think about leadership, I define it as a leader is an individual who is absolutely goal-driven to be successful. I think about Michael Jordan and Magic Johnson and Abraham Lincoln and George Washington and Winston Churchill and how driven they were to be successful and to achieve their goals. So let's use that as a backdrop when we talk about leadership. Do you know where you're going for the second half of the year? I think that many leaders, especially if you worked in the corporate world, don't recognize how valuable it is to communicate down through your entire organization. I look at this as my ability to use personal power versus authority as a leader to help me be more successful. I find that when the team understands what you're about, they appreciate it, they embrace it, and they create a better result. Is your calendar aligned with your priorities or just your obligations? Are you doing stuff and things? Are you doing only the things that are scheduled? Are you recognizing that you need to do what's important now? WIN, what's important now, is a question that you can ask of yourself multiple times during the day. And it's all about focus. The focus surrounds your team, your customer, and whether or not you're successful and profitable in your business. What are you avoiding because it's uncomfortable but necessary? Are you one of those people that brags about how busy you are when all you're doing is spinning your wheels? Remember that story that I've shared with you before, the one where I learned from a former boss that he thought that every hour I worked over 45 was a measure of my incompetence. Boy, I learned a lot that day, and it drove me in my career. Yes, there are times where you're going to work your buns off. Nights, weekends, not going to get very many days off. And sometimes that's very appropriate. But if you work hard to share the responsibility and train and focus on the goals and the activities to support them, you're going to be successful and you can maintain a reasonable work week. Let's talk a little bit about financials. Numbers don't lie, but they also don't chase you down. Do you look at your P&L on a weekly basis? Nowadays, using programs like QuickBooks, you can see how you're doing virtually every day, especially when the transactions go through the bank or credit card and they're posted almost immediately. Know how you're doing. And don't forget that cash flow is absolutely the most important thing. You've heard the adage, cash is king, and it's very true. Cash is king. Are your labor and cost of goods sold percentages healthy compared to your industry norms? And what are you doing about those? So if you don't know the answer as to how you're doing compared to the rest of your cohorts, ask your franchise rep. Have big time conversations about that and make sure that you can get your arms around what a good cost of goods sold is, because typically, in almost all circumstances, it's the most important number in your business. Other franchisees in your community can help you understand the challenges that they're going through. Their wins and their losses will very often parallel yours, so make some friends and talk with them on an off-time basis. Do you trust your numbers enough to take a day off? It's a pretty interesting question. It's a great litmus test to check up on how things are really going. Sometimes asking your friend to be a secret shopper is a great idea too. Let's talk about hiring. If your team isn't right, nothing else works. And oh, by the way, I've heard many of you say there aren't good people out there. It's really hard to find good people. This group of people doesn't work like they used to. I just don't believe that to be the case. It's your job to find the great people that are out there. So you have to ask different questions and you have to get to know your candidates better. Are you proud of the last 3 people you hired? Are you training them for the job they're in and the next one? And I know that's a foreign concept to some of you, but the next one and the next one is how you build a winning team and conceivably open up other locations at some point in your franchise career. Remember, your team feels your clarity or your chaos. And a word that I like to think about when it's chaotic, and it does get chaotic in business from time to time, is unflappable. I always prided myself on being unflappable toward my team members in the middle of the craziness. And yes, sometimes I was torn up inside and it was crazy. And as a leader, if you can remain unflappable, the payoff is big. Are you using my 4 questions that can uncover great potential in applicants? They are. Number 1, how can I help you? Now, this is a servant leader question. How can I help you? Once again, it speaks to personal power and a confidence in yourself. And you're asking that person, how can we help them? It establishes a contract, a handshake contract, in which we learn what they're looking for from us as an employer, and we get a flavor for how we can make that fit as an employer working with them. Number 2, how can you help us? Well, we've asked the question, how can we help them? The natural question is, how can you help us? And that's where we establish this understanding of what they have to offer. We learn about their ambition and attitude, which in my book is a multiplier of the skills and knowledge, a multiplier of the resume that you've looked at. Their ambition and their attitude are multiples. So if you have someone with a crazy good attitude and it's a 10 attitude, it's multiplying the skills, the knowledge, and the resume they have, and they'll be winners for you. The third question is, how can you count on us? And this is a bit of a narrative on our part. And it's not just about the salary and the benefits and the stuff and things that go along with the job. It's helping them understand our communication style, how they'll receive feedback, what the training is going to be like, how they're going to fit as a member of the team. And it sets up the 4th question perfectly. How can we count on you? Note, that's not can we count on them, which is a simple yes-no answer. It's how can we count on you, which hopefully gets them talking about how they think they can be valuable to you and the other team members. Listen really hard to the answers to these questions. I know there are plenty of others that you asked during an interview, and they're important too. But these 4 questions are going to build a team for you and uncover those great employees versus just a kind of a transactional working relationship. Let's talk about growth. Growth isn't just more sales, it's strategic sales. Let's think about the top 10% of your customers. First of all, let's talk about how important customers are. And the important customers are the loyal customers. And you want to do your best to nurture them every day. You're not looking for the coupon cutters, you're looking for the loyal customers, and you're going to do a great job. And oftentimes ask the question, how can we help you? How can we do a better job for you? Because those loyal customers are going to tell their friends, and their friends are going to tell their friends, and you're going to have some great successes as a result of it. Are you actively trying to clone them? And the payoff is huge. You can clone your best customers and the payoff is huge. What's one bold marketing move you've avoided but keep thinking about? You don't need 10 new ideas. You just need 1 or 2 that you can execute well. Remember, achieving goals is about putting specific, actionable activities against those goals. I like to use the example in weight loss. Yes, the goal might be to lose 10 pounds by September 1st, but you have to add the activities against that to achieve the goal. How about I'm going to lose 10 pounds by limiting my calorie intake to 1,500 calories per day, and I'm going to go to the gym every day and work on aerobics and with weights for 45 minutes in each session. You'll need those hows, those types of activities to improve your weight loss success. And you'll also need activities like that to achieve what you're looking to achieve in your business. Your business can't outgrow your mindset. Are you leading out of confidence or fatigue? Are you celebrating your successes, even the mini ones with your team? How often do you say thank you every day? What part of the business gives you energy and what drains you? Are you working on your business at the same time you're working in it? Let me say that again. Are you working on your business the same time you're working in it? Do you assign responsibility and then monitor whether or not the tasks were accomplished in the proper way? Do you have a strategic peer group? Once again, do you have some folks that you talk to about what you're experiencing, your wins, your losses, and learning from them about their wins and losses and how they may help you and you may help each other? These questions aren't about perfection. They're about direction. You still have 6 months. A lot can and will change in 6 months if you execute against your plan. Start by asking better questions and listening hard and or answering them honestly. And remember, if you haven't grabbed the checklist yet, it's right below. If you found this helpful, hit like, subscribe, and drop a comment with your biggest takeaway. I'd really love to hear from you. And grab that full 67-question Midyear Business Health Checklist. It's free, it's in the description, and it just might change how you show up for the rest of the year.